Nipsey Hussle, we all know, we saw his murder. We all saw his murder on camera right there on Slauson and Crenshaw, minutes from where I grew up. I'll get into that in a second. But his killer, Eric Holder, was sentenced to 60 years to life behind bars. And the first thing I saw when I read that was how ironic. 60 years to life. Now, let me take you back home where I'm from. I am from Slauson and Edgemar, which is minutes. We used to walk to Crenshaw. We used to walk all the time. Actually, Crenshaw High School is closer to my house than the high school I went to, both high schools. And my mother wouldn't let me go to Crenshaw at the time growing up because it was a bad school. Gangsters was up there, banging up there. I mean, that was the reputation, and it was real. We already moved from Compton to Slauson, and we moved for greener pastures, safer schools, etc. And it was safe where we were, relatively. But Crenshaw was more dangerous than Westchester at the time, even though Westchester had its issues as well. But getting to this circumstance in this case, I know this area vividly. So when I heard something happen to Nipsey Hussle and then start watching the clips as they were evolving through the day and through the days, it was just like, I've been to that same place a billion times, that street corner. More importantly, I actually have been to the Marathon clothing store before, maybe 2-3 months before Nipsey got killed. Since I'm from the area, the reputation is stronger in the area. People are proud of you. You made it, Marcellus, from that area, right? So I remember going to the store, and I was just going to get me the hats. Matter of fact, let me show you guys. See that right there, back there? That says Slauson, that says Crenshaw. Those are the hats right there. Get out the way, right? Damn, I'm big. All right, so here we go. Those are the hats, right? And I bought them that day. Now I'm in there, and the guy's working in the store. First of all, I was looking at the store like, this is amazing, immaculate, beautiful, especially right here on Slauson and Crenshaw. Oh, y'all really stepping it up in class. Good stuff. And the dude, he's like, yo, I'm going to call Nipsey. He's around here. I'll call him right now so he can come down to the store so he can see you, man. He'll be blessed. He'll be blessed to do that. And I was like, nah, don't do that. For some reason, I really like just being the common man as much as possible. And I know I am, but sometimes you got to remind people that you are, right? I don't want the star treatment. I ain't come in there to get the discount. I didn't come in there to just get hooked up. I didn't come in there to get a picture with Nipsey, even though I would have loved it. I came in there to support. Simple as that. So I was like, I'm in, I'm out. I'm good. Say, next time, man, he'll probably be here next time, or we'll set something up. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And walked out. Never got a chance in my life to meet Nipsey Hussle. Now, you fast forward to the moment we see what happens on camera. And immediately I just go into like hood detective, ghetto detective, right? I'm trying to mouth things out or hear things that are said. I can't. I'm looking for the clearest, cleanest copy. Tough. I'm looking to see angles. Where did he come from? What was happening? What body language? Tough to read. But you're watching it and literally seeing it as Nipsey Hussle gets shot. You can tell he's affected, like gravely affected, but the fighter in him, the spirit in him, the gangster in him still was talking trash to Eric Holder. There are quotes out there of what he said. I didn't hear it, so I don't want to necessarily quote it, but I think it was like, they said you got me or something is one I do actually respect and can acknowledge. And the guy shoots him point blank then, and it's lifeless. Nipsey is now gone, right? That's what it looked like. You fast forward, and everybody's like, what is going on? There's so many levels to this story, especially because I'm from that area, and I'm from that neighborhood, and then I'm watching it. I'm watching who they interview. And then one of the guys they interview I actually grew up with. Cowboy is his name. That's what they were calling him, Cowboy. I know him as Herman growing up. That was a homie, lived close to us. Used to see him all the time. I think he was a year older than me, my sister's age, all the time. As all these guys are, man. Nice kids, cool kids, the homie. And then, we all go our different ways and different versions of that, right? And not always on the right side of the law, unfortunately. But anyway, they're interviewing him, and he was actually in the store, and one of the guys that ran out and saw Nipsey first, I saw some interviews with Big U. Big U, I've done work with him before in the community. I've known him forever, 20, 30 years. I've donated and did some work with him at Crenshaw High School. I just talked to him a few days ago, crazy enough, right? But he has this huge reputation, been to prison, triple OG. So I was always scared of him, right? But it became a friend. It became somebody that I actually connect with and do some stuff in the community with. But long story short, I'm hearing it from TMZ. I'm hearing it from big media and mass media. Then I'm hearing it from the homies, and I'm hearing all different versions. And, being from that area, and I remember watching it because I was on vacation with the family, and I felt guilty. Not only did I feel sad because I was like, damn, Nipsey's gone, but I felt guilty because I kept watching videos and reading quotes and comments, and I was robbing my family of the vacation because I literally was fully consumed with this story. Why? Not because of celebrity, because I could have been that kid. I could have been that guy that turned into Nipsey, that turned into Herman or Cowboy, turned into Big U, because we all right there. And I could have been the one, because I made it, who opened up a store right there on Slauson and Crenshaw. And then opening up that store, still staying in the hood, I could have been the one sniped. But it wasn't just because Nipsey was in the hood that happened. It was because of that relationship. It was because of what they went through, because of the accusations and all that stuff. Whatever they were going through and woofing to each other, they had some issues, right? And that could happen anywhere. But obviously, Nipsey opening up his store right there, Slauson and Crenshaw. Man, it's something that you got to have like tremendous pride for, but also reservation. Let's talk about it. We know what he was doing, and we know what he did, the effect it had. It brought tremendous value, not just in property value, but I'm talking about in esteem. I'm talking about in people really feeling and vision. Like, oh my God, you can make it and still bring something back here. But there is a flip side to it, because there are dangers of bringing it back here. Like, I know a lot of people say, why you got to leave the hood and escape the hood? Well, it's because a lot of times in the hood, there are a lot of people, and I know them, that feel like they have nothing to lose. Even though they do, they don't feel that way, right? And so now we're just playing percentages. It's not about you can't live in the hood. Look, Asia Brown, former mayor of Compton, guess what? She lived in Compton. You can live in the hood, but you're going to have to deal with a value system that's going to be different than if you leave the neighborhood. It's just that simple. I know this for a fact because I used to live right there. And I also know where I live right now. Completely different mindsets. A lot of that is because of monetary value and the value in our community. But also, that tells you that the mentality of those who make it to those good areas is a little different than those who don't. The rich get richer, the poor get poor. And it's not just because of how much money you have. It's because how you align yourself mentally and what circumstances. Are you greater than your circumstances, right? Are you going to make sure you make it? Because for me, my body was in the hood, but my mind was elsewhere. My mind was always thinking, I got to go get it. I got to go do it, right? But Nipsey did. He got it. He did it. And he brought it back. And that's something that we should applaud, except not everybody clapping. Not everybody's clapping. Some people actually want to clap back with jealousy or envy, or the fact they don't have a value for themselves high enough. So therefore, when they see something valuable, they want it by any means necessary, at any cost, even of taking your life. Man, I've had conversations with so many guys, real gangsters, because that neighborhood, Nip was from 60s. My neighborhood was 60s. Like everybody that did gangbang in my neighborhood, they were 60s, right? And having so many conversations with those guys. Because you got to remember, I played Pop Warner with you. Like we were on the same little league team, bro. Like that banging stuff works and it's real and I'm not slighting it. That's y'all. But I know you. Like you were 8 years old. You were the homie. And when I have those conversations with them, man, when they take off that armor and we talk for real, it's unbelievable the amount of pain that they hold on to. Because a lot of times it's just as simple as this. If mama and daddy is not properly raising you in the house, then the streets will. And they will happily do it, right? If you don't feel the love, whether you get the love or not is not the question. I ain't say get the love, because they get love. But if you didn't feel the love, then you go outside and try to find it, try to feel it. Watching that Nipsey murder just gave me flashbacks of what could have been. You know, I'm a fork in the road kid. I tell people all the time, I was that kid that could have went right, like I think I did, or left, like I'm glad I didn't. But I know so many intimately cold-blooded killers. I know them. I've been around them, close to them, in proximity with them, and they went left. And this situation right now, crazy. 60 years, the irony of 60. He's from 60s. Like, is that a joke? Is that funny to the court system? Like 60 years and he's from 60s to life behind bars. Sad to see that, man, for many reasons, because it's discouraged a lot of people. Trust me, I've heard it. A lot of people from going back to the neighborhood and opening it up of value, unless that neighborhood has already been gentrified. So now you just talk about gentrification, of course, you're going to see mass amounts of money just taking over neighborhoods that had lesser values. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about isolated, like a guy's like, I'm from here. No, they haven't gentrified it yet. It's still the hood, whatever you want to call it. But I'm about to open up shop here and bring value. Those guys have been discouraged by Eric Holder and his killing of Nipsey Hussle. Sad story all around. Really still pulls at my heart just discussing this. Love to see what you guys say about this in the comments.